Good morning. Today I'm showing you my Ruger 1022 that I've modified and customized all on my lonesome. Alright, I'll start with the stock because that took by far the most work and I'm probably the most proud of that. As you can see, it doesn't look like the original stock on a 1022, but this is indeed a factory birch stock that I've taken the barrel band off of. I've rasped down and smoothed down and planed down the front end of it, and I rounded it off. And then on the back, you can see I cut down the pistol grip on it a little bit. I cut it down through here. I cut it up underneath here, and then I installed a grip cap that I got from Midway USA, and I put the little Ruger grip cap insignia on it. And I think it really looks sharp, helps bring the look of the gun together. I installed the Mini 14 recoil pad, not for the recoil, for the length of pull, because the birch stock is for little kids. So, I also installed a Cabela's cheek pad. Well, it's off of Cabela's website. You can see the two little screw holes on the top there that they have the rubber plugs for. But this helps really get your eye in line with the scope. I installed the Harris bipod with the new swivel studs. Now, I'm going to talk about the barrel real quick. I used the Volquartsen bedding kit with the little aluminum milled bushing right here, and that little sticky pad thing that actually fits up in the barrel channel. As you can see, the barrel is floated. There's a little bit of upward pressure right about here. It's about 2 inches shy of the end of the stock. I think I'm going to leave it there. A lot of guys are like, well, play with it a few times. Put a 500 rounds through it here and then there. And I shoot a 1-inch group at 50 yards with it. I'm content with that. It's fun to shoot. It's accurate for hunting. I don't do any match shooting with it right now. So going on to the internals, I've also kept the factory receiver and the factory bolt. They're in good shape. I had no reason to replace them. Plus, it seemed kind of silly to keep putting new parts in a gun that was a good shooter from the get-go. I have the auto bolt release on it. I have the Kid A2 spring steel extractor, the claw extractor, which gives really good positive extraction. The Kid firing pin and the recessed countersunk Kid receiver pins. Those are a great product. I highly recommend them to anyone, even if you're leaving your Ruger completely stock. When you take it down to clean it, when those pins roll into your bench one time, you will realize that they're a huge pain in the balls. And for like the 30 bucks that kit was, or 20 or whatever, it took about 10 minutes to install them. You want a good drill, make sure you countersink the hole straight. But really good products as far as internals go. I went with a Power Custom spring and a Power Custom hammer and sear kit, the spring kit I mean. I didn't really put anything Volquartsen in this. A lot of people are all up on the VQ. Their products look good, but they're expensive, and I'm not doing any match shooting right now, so maybe when I do, that would be my next project. The one thing I might get, because I really like the stock that I've customized myself here, is the Volquartsen barrel. They have a counterweighted barrel. The barrel fit and size is the same all the way down to the end of the stock, and then it bells out. And they're supposedly really superb. I would hope so, for close to $300. But I got the Power Custom anodized red aluminum trigger, which is a very good trigger. Has the over travel adjustment screw with the internals and everything that I also stoned everything to make sure everything was fit perfect. I also got a Power Custom disconnect as well. But everything fits together very nice. The trigger pull has about that much creep in it. You can hardly see it, but that's perfect. And then after there, it breaks at about 2.5 pounds. So there's really no, you don't need to set the trigger yourself. It just squeeze and fire. I got the PFI extended magazine release. Really good product. The shipping was kind of slow on it, and I hassled him a little bit. And PFI dude was like, "Relax, man. It'll get there." And I'm glad I relaxed a little bit, because it's a good product. It's very solid. The laser etching on it is superb, and it drops mags quick. What else did I get? I got a new plunger just because my old one was worn out, because I put a lot of ammo through this gun growing up. But it's just a factory plunger, nothing superb there. The finish on the stock is Old Masters Spanish Oak. I got sold a bill of goods. The girl at the store, who claimed to be a quote-unquote pro, said that the gel stuff works great. You put a little on, rub it in, wipe it off, da-da-da-da. Bullshit. Don't ever buy that crap. It doesn't work. It took twice as many coats. I had to put about 15 coats on to get it dark like this. The oil-based stuff works much better. This still isn't quite right. As you can see, there's fine lines on the sharp points of the stock where I couldn't just leave a little rubbed on. It was very difficult to get that stain to do what I wanted. Eventually it did. It took into the grain. You can see the grain pull a little bit of the stain in. And then I sanded it down to 400 grit. I put the True Oil to it. After the first coat of True Oil, I wet sanded it with 400 grit paper as well. Then every coat after that, I buffed with 4-aught steel wool. And I put about 9 coats of that on. And it took about a week to finish the stock, because after every time I had to let it dry. And it's winter time, of course. My girlfriend has the heat cranked up in here, so it was balmy and humid. And finally, we'll talk about the scope I went with. I put a nice little NC Star. It's 3-9. Has 40mm objective lens and about 1 inch to 1.5 inches of eye relief, which is good for me. I like it. I think I got it for like 70-80 bucks on eBay, something like that. It's a rim fire, so I'm not worried about it, getting knocked all around. The way I have the rifle set up now, the recoil is very managed. So I'm not too concerned with it breaking or whatnot. Other NC Star crap I've bought has been, average, okay quality. It has a green illuminated reticle. It has a P4 sniper reticle, otherwise known as standard mil dot. It is a good scope. Like I said before, I shoot about 1-inch group at 50 yards right now. Probably a little bit tighter than that. I was shooting last week in low light, and I just was pulling the trigger, but it's fun. I figure the dots probably will drop, maybe 1 inch or 2 every 25 yards after 50. I know I gotta fool around with it and see. I probably won't even ever use it as a true, mil dot calculating or a range estimating scope. I just got it because it looks really nice and it has illuminated dots, which I like, and it looks cool. Face it, I built this gun to look cool and make people out on YouTube go, "Oh, that's so cool." Whether or not you actually do, I don't really care. This is a little, UTG flash hider. Doesn't really do a whole lot. The stinger round helps because they're kind of hot. But that's pretty much it, I think.